Manga-Waido.
I'm Masaki Ida, 31 years old. There was a specific job that I wanted to do, so I started working for the company I work for now, right after I graduated from high school. Now I'm working at a factory and I'm enjoying my everyday life. During lunch break, I always eat lunch at a park next to our factory. And that's where I met Sana. Sana works at a company near this park, and our lunch break was always the same time. The book she was reading was the kind of book I also liked, so we started talking, and soon we were going out. Sana is really nice and cheerful, and she always talks to me with a smile no matter how greasy I am from work. After dating for 3 years, I proposed, and she said yes. I promise I'll make you happy.
Me too. I promise that I'll make a happy family with you, Masaki.
So, I went to meet Sana's parents. I was nervous, but Sana's mother greeted me with a smile just like Sana's, and she seemed to be really nice. She showed me to their living room. But that's where the problem started. Sana's father seems to be the uptight, old-school father who thinks that chores are for women and all women should look up to men. He was sitting on the sofa with a stern face. It's very nice to meet you, sir. I'm Masaki Ida, and I've been dating Sana. Today, I'm here to get your permission to marry... Where exactly do you work for? Sana told me that you work for a factory, but is that true? Oh, yes. I work at a factory that's close to Sana's company. It's a company called Manwa Bolt, and we make screws. So, what she said was true. Factories don't pay well, do they? You think you can make Sana happy like that?
Dad, I told you not to say things like that!
You stay out of this, Sana! So, what's it like? How much do you make? Factories are for people with no education. There's no way you can make a lot of money. You're right. I only graduated from high school and the base salary is 240,000 yen and... 240,000?! Sana told me that you were 31! That's not the kind of money you make in your 30s! A loser like you is obviously not for my daughter! I'm not going to approve of this marriage! Sana's mother seems to have no right to speak up, and she just looked lost. I've never been yelled at by a person I met for the first time. I don't mean to say, okay, then I quit. But I'm obviously in for a bumpy ride. What can I say to make things better in this situation? While I was thinking, Sana spoke up first.
Oh, cut it out, Dad! I decided to marry Masaki because I was drawn to his earnest personality. And we can make things work if we both work.
You? Work? Women have to stay at home and...
You have no say in this. If you don't approve, I'll just elope.
What? Sana? What are you saying, Sana? You would be much happier if you stay at this house than live with this loser!
Are you still saying things like that? Masaki, let's go now. I'm never coming back to this house.
Okay, Sana, okay. I get it. Calm down. Her father decided to give in, and we got permission to get married. After we left their house, I apologized to Sana and said, I'm sorry I couldn't come off strong. Sana smiled and said, my father is really uptight about things, so he wouldn't have been persuaded if I didn't say stuff like that. But that was just a moment of relief. The next day, there was a phone call from a number I didn't know, and when I answered... Is this Masaki? This is Sana's father. Sana's dad? Don't push it! You're still a loser working at a factory! You don't get to call me dad! And he kept telling me for an hour about how I'm not good enough for Sana, and I should give up marrying her. He kept calling the next day, and the day after, and left threatening messages. It was eating me up, but I didn't want to give up Sana for this. I thought about talking to her about this, but she said she would elope. If things went bad between her and her dad, it would be impossible to fix it. I can't be the reason for them to never talk again. So I endured. 2 weeks passed since he started calling me. I was driving the company's car to deliver a certain product that we just finished making. I was able to deliver it safe and sound, and I was taking a break by the sidewalk to drink some coffee. There was a familiar face on the street. Sana's father. It was just yesterday that he kept saying on the phone, "Are you ready to give up yet?" There's no way my precious Sana is marrying a loser like you. It went on for about an hour. When I saw his face, I started sweating, and I couldn't even taste my coffee. But if I turn away and run or ignore him now, he would definitely act even worse. I threw away my coffee, smoothed out my clothes, and went to greet him. Hi, it's nice to meet you. What are you doing here? He was probably on his way to work and looked sharp in his suit. My working uniform was all greasy from work, and he was looking at me with a dirty look. He obviously despised me. I knew he was going to say something sarcastic. How could you not be ashamed of yourself, walking around looking like that? This is exactly why I hate factory workers. You've got no common sense. It gives me the chills just to think that you're going to marry my daughter and become my son-in-law. Then, a gentleman in a crisp suit came up to us. He seemed to be the business partner of Sana's father. Oh, Mr. Miki, please excuse us. This is my daughter's fiancé, but he's just a factory worker, and he has no idea what he's doing, walking around like this. Well, that makes two of us. I'm sorry? I used to work at a factory too. Is that a bad thing? Oh no, that's not what I... Now I do sales and marketing, but years ago, I used to work at a factory. It was hard but rewarding, and I enjoyed working there. I still go to factories and help out once in a while to check and maintain quality. The gentleman smiled and bowed his head to me for a second, and glared at Sana's father. Sana's father realized that he had made a terrible mistake. He turned pale all of a sudden and was sweating like crazy. You were saying earlier how this young man was a factory worker with no common sense? No, I wasn't saying... Well, since I used to work at a factory too, I guess you're embarrassed about me too, since I have no common sense. That's nonsense! I was just talking about this man and not... You know what? I've always thought that you tend to judge people on your own terms and look down on them. Oh no, that's not... These days, you can't tell what kind of reputation gets around from where. I'm sorry, but I don't think I can do business with a person who looks down on someone for their occupation. Please, send someone else next time. What? By the way, isn't that Manga-Bolt's logo on your uniform? Oh yes, I'm Masaki Ida from Manga-Bolt. I knew it. I hear that you guys have state-of-the-art technology and do lots of business around the world. Don't you also do business with national organizations? Oh yes, it's confidential so I can't give names. But we've got technology with patents and we do work for major companies. I wanted to explain how I do work that can make him proud, but he just wouldn't understand. Well, what can you say? He looks down on people just because they work at factories. You don't need someone like that to understand you. Excuse me, gentlemen. I've taken up enough of your time. Not at all. Thank you for recognizing our company. The gentleman said, next time we'll talk about who will be in charge after you, and left. Sana's dad seemed to be bewildered from all of this, and was muttering, oopsie daisy. I've never seen anyone say that word. After that, I heard that he was actually forced to sign off from that job. This affected his reputation in his company, and when there was a large-scale layoff the next year, his name was at the top of the list. After he lost his job, he didn't try to get another job, and he was just killing time at home. Since he treated Sana's mother badly throughout the years, that seemed to be the last straw, and she decided to divorce him. She said, I can't do this anymore, and left the house. I got married to Sana, and Sana's father came crying to us, so we decided to let him live with us. He lost all his energy. His hair turned all white and became really thin. Having no job and living under our roof, he became humble and tries not to get in our way.
Hey, Dad! I told you to fold my clothes neatly! You're living with us under the condition that you'll do the chores. If you can't do that, we can always kick you out.
Sorry. My base salary is 240,000 yen, but I get technology pay and all sorts of benefits, which comes up to a total of 350,000 yen. I get 800,000 yen for bonus, 2 times a year, which means I actually earn more money than what he used to earn. That hit him hard. He never called me a loser that works at a factory anymore. Sana is still super mad at him and says he needs to pay for how he treated you. If he can't do chores for us anymore, he's going straight to nursing care facilities. And I'm more like, you don't have to go that far. And I'm sort of freaked out about how mad she can get. I'm never stepping on her toes. Ever. Anyhow, I'm glad that my father-in-law is all quiet and calm now. I hope we can try and slowly patch things up.